Hey, what is up everyone? Pastor JAMZ here back with another review, and a review of the latest album released by Drake. The 35-year-old rapper, singer, songwriter from Toronto, Canada, has released a surprise album yesterday. Well, Thursday night, I guess you should say. Honestly, Nevermind. This was a shock to me. I didn't really know what to expect, given that Certified Lover Boy has only been out for about 9 months, and now that he's coming out with another studio album, his seventh studio album to be exact. And of course, I mean, I kind of had like my little jokes here and there that I was getting ready to trash all over this new album now. Given that some of you all may know that I'm not really fond of Drake's new material past, I guess, 2015, 2014. Um, but yeah, honestly, Nevermind. It's pretty interesting. I didn't really know what to expect coming into the album. I thought maybe it would have been a little bit more of how a little more rap style, I guess, from a opposite of Certified Lover Boy. Um, and given that there was no features except for the last track with 21 Savage, but you have 14 tracks, well, 13 if you don't count the intro, and 52 minutes, I just dove right in. One could say that I could could have gone in with low expectations, but given that I'm not really fond of his new material, I actually go in with a higher standard when it comes to Drake's new music, and I try my best, honestly, not to be so harsh when it comes to reviewing his new material, but I mean, to me, it's just really difficult for me not to when it comes to Drake, given that he is so popular in the mainstream and praised to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, artist of all time. And people just eat up his music like it's nothing. And it's funny to say that because honestly, Nevermind really feels like the scraps that were just dug up by his music label. Maybe his music label required him to have a new contract or something, requiring him to set out a certain amount of albums out, or maybe a mixtape, CDs, whatever the hell it is. Uh, this album honestly sounds like that. The deadline was coming up, and he rushed to compile together some tracks that maybe have been recorded over the years in the last couple of years, and just compile together into one heaping pile of mess. It's baffling to me how simplistic this album is, yet he tries to persuade the listener in such a way that's moving, and presents these tracks in a early 2010s ideas of like R&B and dance hall music, and that's pretty much what the sound is throughout, honestly, Nevermind. And those ideas are really outdated and don't really fit well with anything that he is trying to portray in his side of things. So what I do gotta praise about the album, and take that with a huge like wow factor, because me giving Drake praise, I will praise the production. The production is pretty solid, given that I just said that there are some ideas that are really explored of some early 2010 sounds that are not really that are really outdated today, but they are presented in such a way that it could be executed really well if it was given to the right person. Most, if not, well, yeah, most of the production on here of Honestly Nevermind is pretty spot on and solid, really moving, kind of like these dreamy club style sounds that are really solid, except for Currents. I hate that track. It's probably the worst track on here, and even the production is so stupid with that bed squeaking. Man, that it gets me heated. Anyways, yeah, Currents is hands down the worst track on here. I would say also Liability, but I mean it's kind of like a whatever track, does deep voice. Um, but I mean the production for Falling Back, Text Go Green, Massive, and Flights Book. Oh, I mean it's pretty solid for the most part. And then Tie That Binds, I really find it interesting how he kind of implemented this acoustic guitar, notes not really going anywhere and not having a really drive or anything like that. That was a really interesting idea that he presented in the production. But my biggest complaint and issue that I have with the album, honestly, Nevermind, is that the execution is just not there. Drake's execution when it comes to vocally, lyrically, and the whole spiel together coming into one thing, it's not presented good. You have the first track as essentially Falling Back, where he hits these really high notes. At first, it was good. But then you go to the middle of the track, the chorus, kind of doing these high notes, not really fitting his style at all. It sounds awkward, it's weird, and not really going well with the whole execution of the tracks that he's going with. Then you have other tracks that a little bit too repetitive, not really hitting well, kind of just like smacks me back in my face to wake me up and say, hey, this is just a throwaway album just for people to play at the club and these dance hall parties and whatever the hell is going on. Calling My Name is also a really bad track. You have like these things where he's trying to elevate, and it's just getting strung out so much, it's ridiculous. I couldn't help but laugh when I was hearing it. That's how just sad this album is. It's sad. I wouldn't even call it a terrible album because there are ideas in here that are presented in such a way that may be outdated and are, but if it was maybe fixated in such a way that Drake could have presented it and executed it in a refreshing take on these ideas that have already been milked over these years and the past decade, then this could have been a solid album. I really do I admire the big risk that Drake is coming with this. Even though it's not a risk, people are going to eat this up anyways, regardless of how many bad reviews he gets or positive reviews. Honestly, whatever he puts out, people are going to eat it up. They're going to play it on the radio. They're going to play it in the clubs. They're going to play it at parties, in the dance halls, all that stuff. And it's honestly sad to see that people would eat this up and call it good music. Look, that I have nothing against the guy. I just think that whatever he fleshes out, people are just gonna eat it up, and it's not good. The production is spot on, but the execution, his lyrics, the vocalization coming from him with these other weird, awkward ideas, it's not hitting well. But I would give it a 4 out of 10. I think that there's just an album that could have been something, but was just not really cared for in a sense. I definitely do think that Certified Lover Boy is still his worst album, but I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 10, given that it's not necessarily so terrible. It's just bland and not really anything to care for. Easily forgettable album. Anyways, that is my review. Let me know what y'all think. Do you like Honestly Nevermind? Were you excited for this surprise drop? Link will be in the description down below, so you can check it out for yourself. Make sure you all share and subscribe with a friend. Peace and stay safe.